Hello, very good evening, guys. Welcome to Resultant, the faculty-driven platform for all your GATE for PSC and for the different PSU examination for mechanical and civil branch. So I welcome you all to this Resultant platform. So today in this video, we will be having the complete discussion through questions for the topic of industrial engineering of forecasting model. Now forecasting, basically, if I say from GATE examination perspective or different examination perspective, that could be ESC or different PSUs, if they're asking question from the industrial, you can expect one or two question from the forecasting model, and that too are the question level is very basic. So in this video we will be talking about the time series model, right? What is time series we'll be able to understand in the later on stages, and I'll be taking all the four methods, and each method I'll be discussing one each numerical, so as to have a better understanding, because industrial engineering is all a mathematical subject where you know should be knowing about the concept and how to implement the concept into the different problems. Okay, so previously we have talked about the inventory models, we have talked about the graphical method for LPP, the simplex method for LPP. Now this is the fourth session where we are talking about the forecasting models for the GATE 2025 examination. Now I hope everyone has liked this video, and do subscribe to this channel, because I don't want you guys to miss out any important information or video, and you should be the first one to be notified. Okay, so this is about myself. I hope everyone has connected with me on my Telegram channel, that is Mechanical by Suraj Gopi, and you can do drop me a mail, that is suraj@resultant.in. And if you have any doubt related to subjects or related to any guidance, you can without any hesitation drop me a mail then and there itself. Okay, chaliye. Now what do you mean by forecasting? Now this forecasting terminology we are using in almost every sector. We are not only restricting to the production system, we are basically using in the software industries, in sport industry also. We are forecasting the score. You might have seen now, just last week only IPL went off, right? So you might have seen the projected score or forecasted score, right? Or if I talk about the weather forecast, they are also forecasting, right? So what is the basic necessity of forecasting, and how it will be gonna help us in the production? If I say from production perspective or from industrial perspective, forecasting is nothing but where we are predicting the future sales or demand of a particular product. Now my question is, why forecasting is required? Let us suppose I want to launch this pen. Okay, I want to manufacture, I want to sell off this pen, right? So my question is, how much I need to manufacture on daily basis? What is the demand? If I'm not doing this forecasting analysis for any product, then what will happen? Let us suppose in the market the demand was only for 50 units and you have manufactured 1000 units, right? So definitely that is over manufacturing. That means you are supplying more than that of demand, and ultimately what will happen? You will be going into losses. So forecasting is a very important tool, because this will definitely gonna decide whether your organization or industry will survive in future. Okay, because if you are able to predict the demand of any product, you will be able to supply accordingly. Okay, so it is nothing but termed as a prediction of future sales or demand for a particular product, and based on the prediction, how we are doing the prediction is basically done based on the past data or the art of human judgment. Now this is the main classification of forecasting model. On one hand, we will be having some past data with us, so by using this past data I will be able to forecast for the next day or for the next month. Or sometimes what happens, let us suppose you are into hydrogen powered vehicle, right? This is a trending topic in the automobile industry. So definitely, if any product is newly launched, we are not having some past data. So how we will be able to forecast? So in that scenario, what we are doing, we are bringing some expertise, or we are collecting information from the customers, and based on their responses, we are able to forecast the number, or we are able to forecast how much product need to be manufactured so as to fulfill the demand. Okay, fine. So forecasting, basically I can say it is classified into two categories. One is either I'm having some past data with us, or based on the human judgment or expertise. If I am an expertise in hydrogen powered vehicle, I will be able to forecast that how much demand will be there for the next month or next one year or quarter, month or half yearly. Okay, so the survival of any organization simply depends upon how well you can predict the demand of a product in future, and that is the main objective of using the forecasting technique. Okay, and because this is an important tool for any organization, that is the reason you might have seen that every year you're expecting one question from this. Because nowadays, if I try to talk about the GATE paper, they are basically touching that topics which is more of industrial application, okay, which is actually being used in the industries. Okay, so as to check whether the student or the candidate, will he be able to counteract any problem that he's or she's facing in the industry. So that is the reason all the topics which are more relevant towards any industry, that is being asked in the recent trend of the GATE examination. Now, if I try to broadly forecast, broadly classify forecasting, it is, we can say, classify two categories. One is qualitative and second is quantitative. Okay, we are having qualitative and the quantitative. What is qualitative? It is nothing but the art of human judgment. It is based on the art of human judgment. What's the meaning of that? Meaning of this is, you are basically forecasting for a new product and you don't have any past data. So based on your expertise, you will be able to forecast that particular product. That is qualitative forecasting. Under qualitative, we can classify into four categories: opinion survey, market trial, market research, and Delphi technique. So definitely I won't be taking this now because this is more sort of a theoretical portion. Our main concentration is on the qualitative, and that too I'll be discussing this time series model. Okay, so quantitative means we will be having some past data with us. The forecasting is based on the past data. Like I'm having, let us suppose it's month May is completely finished. Tomorrow onwards, the June month will be started. Okay, so whatever data I'm having for the month of May, I'll be using to forecast for the month of June, right? Or forecast for the month of July. So based on the past data that I'm having, I'll be able to forecast. So broadly, this is being classified in two categories. One is time series and second is casual or econometrics model. Casual econometric model are usually being used whenever we need to create relations. It is nothing but a correlation analysis or a regression analysis. Okay, but if I talk about time series model, we'll be having some specific data for the past period, and based on that, we will be able to forecast for the next one. So there are four categories that we need to understand one by one. The first one is past average. The first one is past average. Now, by the name itself, we can try to understand what is past average. Past average is nothing but we have to take the average of the past data that I'm having, all the past data. That means we have to take the average of forecasted value will be nothing but the average of all the past data that I'm having. That's it. So very easy. By understanding this very easy, let us take an example to understand this in more detail. Let us suppose I'm having a data from September to January. Okay, this is the actual demand, or we can say this is the actual demand that is being created, and based on this data, I need to forecast for the month of February. So by using this simple average method or past average method, what we are basically doing is we will be forecasting the month for the month of February as nothing but the average of all the past data. That means 180 plus 280 plus 250 plus 190 plus 240 divided by 5. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. So what is the value we are getting? Let us calculate this. 180 plus 280 plus 250 plus 190 plus 240 divided by 5. This is nothing but 228 units. Okay, 228 units. That simply means if you are using the past average method, then you have to take the average of all the data that you are having. That's it. Okay, whatever, let's say the value started from month of July, August, September, October till the January. So you have to take all the past data. Clear? Very easy. right? So we can understand now past average means you only need to take the average of the past data. Chaliye, next one is moving average. Now this is important. What is moving average? Moving average means in this case we try to take the average value only, but here the time period will be defined. What is the time period? Let us suppose I'm having the data from the January till let us suppose May, okay, and I want to forecast for the month of June. I'm having for February, March, April and May. All some random values are there, okay, and they're asking what is the forecast for the month of June, right? So by using the simple moving average method, some time period will be defined. What is that time period? Let us suppose if I say you have to calculate 3-month simple moving average method. What is the meaning of that? The meaning of this is you have to take the average of the latest 3 months. That means if you are forecasting for the month of June by using the 3-month simple moving average, then you have to take the average of only these 3 values. That means you have to take the average of May, latest data, April and March divided by 3. That's it. I'll be taking one example also. No, you told no sir, I'll be taking the 4-month simple moving average. You try to take the average of the latest 4 months. You take a 5-month simple moving average, you have to take the average of the latest 5 months. So basically in simple moving average method, the time period will be defined. That how much duration this you have to take the forecast. That is nothing but simple moving average method. Now the question is why we are doing this. The simple moving average method is basically useful whenever we are having changes in the trend. Let us suppose if you are having the trend to be increasing, then it's okay. Sometime it is decreasing, then increasing, then decreasing. So basically based on the recent trend, I'll be able to forecast. If I try to take this example, let us suppose if you can see from 180 to 280, then again it is decreasing, then decreasing, then again increasing. Okay. But if I'm taking the 3-month simple moving average method, and if I try to calculate the forecast for the month of Feb, that will be only the average of these 3 set values. The latest value, that is 240 plus 190 plus 250 divided by 3. Okay, let us calculate what is the value that we are getting. 240 plus 190 plus 250 divided by 3, that is 136. That is 136. So basically our forecast will be done based on the recent trends. Okay, fine. Is this clear? Our forecasting will be done based on the recent trends. Fine. If you can take the 4-month simple moving average, so for that you have to take the average of this 4 set over, that means plus 280 divided by 4. Okay, fine. Clear? A very simple method, that is simple moving average method that we have seen in a detailed manner. Now the next one is weighted moving average. What is this weighted moving average method? So now let's talk about the weighted moving average method, that is a WMA. Normally we are, in short, we are denoted as a WMA. Now what is the major difference between weighted moving average and simple moving average? In weighted moving average, we are basically assigning more weight to the recent data and less weightage to the oldest data. Let us take an example and compare the simple moving average with weighted moving average to understand what is this WMA. Let us suppose I am having 4 set of data. For month A is equal to, let's say, 20. For month B, let's say that is equal to 30. For month C, it is equal to let us suppose 10, and for month D it is equal to let us suppose it is 40. Okay, I'm taking some random set of value. If you are using the 4-month simple moving average method, okay, 4-month simple moving average method, and you need to forecast for the month of E, that is 5th month. So I can say forecast for the month of E will be simply the average of the recent 4 data. So here we are having only 4 data, so we'll be taking the average of all the 4 set of values, that is 40 plus 10 plus 30 plus 20 divided by 4. As simple as this. Can I rewrite this equation like this? 0.25 into 40 plus 0.25 into 10 plus 0.25 into 30 plus 0.25 into 20. Okay, so basically what we have did, I have divided this 4 into the different values. That means I have allocated equal weightage to all the data. That means I am giving same preference as of D for C, B and A, because I'm multiplying the same factor. But in case of weighted moving average, what we are doing, we are assigning the highest weightage to the recent data and lowest weightage to the oldest data. Now question is how you can assign, right? For that, what we are doing is we will be using a very simple formulation. By using this very simple formulation, we will be able to understand how we can assign weight to the different one. Okay, so for that we have to calculate summation n. What is summation n? Summation n is equal to n into n plus 1 divided by 2. Let us suppose if I am taking 4-month weighted moving average. 4-month weighted moving average. For this, n will be equal to 4. Place it over here. So summation n will be equal to 4 into 5 by 2, that is equal to 10. Okay, so I'm getting the summation n is equal to 10. So what will be the weights? Weights will be simply, let me write it over here. Weight will be simply, the weights will be simply, we can say 1 by, or we can write it as, the weights will be equal to n divided by summation n, comma n minus 1 by summation n, n minus 2 by summation n, till 1 by summation n. Let us write the value over here by taking the same example. I am taking n equal to 4, so that will be 4 by 10, 3 by 10, because n is equal to 4 in this example. Okay, 2 by 10 and 1 by 10. That means we are having 0.4, 0.3, 0.2 and 0.1. What were the 4 set of values? For A it was around 20, for B it was 30, for C it was 10, and for D it is 40, right? And we have to calculate for the month of E by using the 4-month weighted moving average. Now what we'll be doing, we will be assigning the highest weightage to the recent data, highest weightage, and lowest weightage to the oldest data. That means forecast for the month of E will be equal to, highest weightage is 0.4, 0.4 into 40 plus 0.3 into 10 plus 0.2 into 30 plus 0.1 into 20. So after solving this, whatever value you are getting, that is the forecasted value by using the 4-month weighted moving average. You can take 3-month weighted moving average also. You will be taking n is equal to 3. If you put n equal to 3, then summation n will be equal to 3 into 4 by 2. That will be simply 6. Okay, clear? So this way you will be able to calculate the forecasting value by using the weighted moving average method, very easy, where we are assigning more weightage to the recent data and less weightage to the oldest data. Okay, chali. So let us take one more example to understand this in a simplest way. The same example here, I am let us suppose calculating for 3-month weighted moving average method. Okay, that means n is equal to 3. That means I have to take the recent 3 data. This is the recent, this is the oldest data. Okay, so n is equal to, or summation n is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2. So here n is equal to 3. Place it over here, 3 into 4 by 2, that is equal to 6. So your weights are we can say 3 by 6, 2 by 6 and 1 by 6. So what we'll be doing, highest weightage will be multiplied with the recent data. So forecast for the month of Feb will be equal to 240 into 3 by 6 plus 190 into 2 by 6 plus 250 into 1 by 6. Okay, so once you solve it, you will be getting the value for the forecast for the month of February by using the 3-month weighted moving average. So let us calculate what's the value. 240 into 3 plus 190 into 2 plus 250. So we are getting 225 units by using the 3-month weighted moving average method. Clear? Previously, when we were using this one, it was coming out to be 136. Here, because the recent data is highest, it is 240. So next value will be closer to the recent data, and that is the reason we are getting 225. That is the reason I am taken 3-month simple moving average over here, and we are getting 136. And the same, if you are using 3-month weighted moving average method over here, we are getting 225. That means because the recent trend is increasing, that is the reason the next value is closer to the recent value. Clear? So now let's talk about the last one and the most important, and 100% you are getting questions from this exponential smoothing method. So now let's talk about the exponential smoothing method. This is nothing but the modified form of weighted moving average method, right? And this is the most important one, because in the GATE examination or any other examination, you are expecting at least one question from this topic only. So this is the most important forecasting technique in the time series model or from any examination. Okay, so this is nothing but a modified form of weighted moving average method. Like in weighted moving average method, we had the weights as summation n is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2, right? And the weight was n upon summation n, n minus 1 by summation n, and so on. Okay, in this case, the weights are assigned same way like in the previous case. The highest weight, the recent data will be assigned with the highest weightage, and the oldest data will be assigned with the lowest weight. But here the weights are in an exponential decreasing way. Here the weights are in the exponential decreasing way, right? And because it is an exponential decreasing way, we can use a very general expression, and from there we'll be able to understand what is exponential smoothing. So the general expression of the exponential method, okay, is the forecast for any time period t will be equal to alpha into the n minus 1, we can say demand. Capital D is the actual demand, F is the forecasted value, plus alpha into 1 minus alpha dt minus 2 plus alpha into 1 minus alpha whole square dt minus 3, and so on till infinity, because this is an exponential decreasing way. Okay, or else I can rewrite this equation as alpha dt minus 1 plus, if I take 1 minus alpha common, that will be equal to alpha dt minus 2 plus alpha into 1 minus alpha dt minus 3, so on. Okay, if I try to take this the expression which is in the bracket, I can write this as alpha dt minus 1 plus 1 minus alpha ft minus 1. If I place ft minus 1 over here, so this will be alpha dt minus 2, alpha into 1 minus alpha dt minus 3. So same thing it is being written. So rearranging this statement, the forecasted value for any time period t is equal to alpha dt minus 1 plus 1 minus alpha ft minus 1, or rearranging we are getting ft minus 1 plus we can say alpha dt minus 1 minus ft minus 1. So this particular formulation is being used to calculate the forecast for any time t period if you know the forecasted and the actual demand for the t minus 1 period. Okay, where F stands for forecasted value and capital D stands for actual demand. Okay, fine. It's a very, and where alpha is called as exponential smoothing constant. Alpha is called as exponential smoothing constant. Right, and this alpha is also playing a vital role. Normally this alpha is ranging between 0 to 1. So what will happen if alpha equal to 0 and alpha equal to 1? What is this actually signifies? If let us suppose if alpha is equal to 0, if I take alpha equal to 0, so whatever is the previous forecast value, the same will be the next forecast value. That means we are having quite stable, even though the actual demand is fluctuating, but the forecasted value will be very smooth. The forecasted value will be exactly same as the previous one. And if your alpha is equal to 1, what's the meaning of this? Then ft will be equal to, if I plate this equal to 1, so ft minus 1, t minus 1 will be cancelled out, so that is equal to dt minus 1. That means this is quite responsive in nature or highly sensitive. Okay, this is quite stable in nature, right? And generally the alpha value always ranges between 0.45 to 0.65. This is the alpha range for practical examples. Okay, fine. So now we have understood that how we can calculate for the forecasted value. Now let us take one example. By using this example, I'll be taking two examples. Okay, now they're asking you, this is the actual demand. This is the actual demand for the September, October and November, and they are asking you the forecasted value for the month of December. Forecasted value for the month of December by using the exponential smoothing method, and they have given alpha is equal to, let us suppose 0.4. They have given this value. Acha, sometimes what happens is they are not giving the value of alpha also, right? If alpha value is not being given, then what you have to do? If alpha value is not being given, then we can take a general expression of alpha. Alpha is equal to 2 upon n plus 1. 2 upon n plus 1. If let us suppose if I am taking only one data, if I take only one data, then alpha value is tending to 1, which is highly responsive in nature. What is the previous demand? The same will be the forecast. And if I take the infinite number of observation, if I take infinite observation or very large number of observation, then definitely the next forecasted value will be quite stable, and that is the reason if I take n tend to infinity, the alpha is tending to 0, and that justifies our previous discussion of this one. Okay, clear? Right, now in this particular problem, what we have to do is we have to understand how to calculate the forecast for the month of December, and this is the given, the actual demand is given. Now if I want to calculate the forecast for the month of December, that will be equal to n minus 1 forecast is November, forecast for the month of November, plus alpha, the demand of November minus forecast of November. But the problem to this equation is I don't know the value of forecast of November. This value is not known. Okay sir, let us do one thing. The forecast for November, let us calculate, that is equal to forecast of October plus alpha, demand of October minus forecast of October. Okay, and let us suppose this the forecast for the month of September is given as 100. Let us suppose, I'm taking a rough example, it is being given in the question. Okay, now again the same problem, forecast for the October is not being given. So now let us take the forecast for October, that is equal to forecast of September plus alpha, demand of September minus forecast of September. Okay, so now it is being given, so this is 100 plus alpha is 0.4, demand of September is 180 minus 100. So place it and tell me what's the value. So this will be 80 into this, this will be 103.2. 103.2. Please check, are we getting 103.2? I think so. है ना? 80 है ना? Okay, it's 80. It is 132, है ना? 132. I was taking it as 132. 132 units. So we are getting this to be 132. So we can use this over here. So this will be equal to 132 plus 0.4 into 280 minus 132. What's the value you are getting? What is the value you are getting? Please check. So 280 minus 132 into 0.4 plus 132, that is 192. We are getting this to be 192. Now we can use this over here. 192 plus 0.4 into 250 minus 192. So what's the value you are getting? You are getting somewhere around 215, 215.2. So this is my final answer. This is my final answer. That is, for the month of December, I'm getting the forecasted value for the month of December to be 215.2 as a final correct answer. This way, you have to solve the question from the exponential smoothing method. Okay, fine. Now there is one more feasibility. Let us suppose if they are not giving the forecasted value of the September, let us suppose this value is not being given. So in that scenario, there are two possibilities. Either you can use the general formulation, this one. You can use the general formulation, this one. Okay? Because you know the actual demand for the previous set of values. If you see, you know the demand for September, October and November, right? So we can use this general formulation as, Ft is equal to alpha dt minus 1, okay, plus alpha into 1 minus alpha dt minus 2 plus alpha into 1 minus alpha whole square dt minus 3 and so on. Because they have given for the 3 months, so we will be using till three set of value. That means this one and this one. Okay, we can easily calculate. This is one feasibility, and normally you have to follow this one. But sometimes what happens in the question, they'll be saying approximately what is the forecasted value. So in that case, what we'll be doing, we can assume the forecasted value for the first month. That means in this case, the first month is September, same as that of the demand. That means this value will be equal to 180. Right, but this has to be applied only if they are telling calculate the approximated forecasted value, or they'll be clearly mentioning that the forecast for the first month is exactly same as of the actual demand. Then only you have to apply. If nothing is mentioned, then you have to use the general formulation to calculate the forecasted value by using the exponential smoothing method if they are not giving you the forecast value even for the first month. If they are given for the first value, from there you can calculate this one, from there you can calculate this one. But even if they are not giving this 100 also, then you have to use this general formulation, this general formulation or general expression you have to apply. Then only you will be able to get the correct answer. Clear? So this is all about the forecasting models, all the 4 models we have discussed in detail. I hope so you all enjoyed this session, and make sure if you have any doubt or difficulty in this particular session, you can drop down your doubts in the comment box. I'll be happily able to taking your doubts in a very simplest way. And if let us suppose if your doubt is not being resolved, you can do contact on my Telegram also or my mail, or we can take another session on this. Okay, so that's it from my side. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you, and do like this channel. Please do subscribe to this channel and like this video, so that every student will be able to get the forecasting model complete revision in one single video. So thank you guys. Bye bye. Take care. Stay safe and enjoy your preparation with Resultant. Thank you. Bye bye.